It's a convo. It's a convo. When I ask about grassroots football, do you know what I'm trying to say? All of that.
And you play polo?
Kasey, it's nice to see you here. It's nice to talk to you. It's been a long time. It's been a long time we want to have this conversation with you.
For sure.
So let's take it back. Grassroots football. Before, of course, we go into the next step of the conversation. Talk to me about grassroots football. Where did you play? How did you play? Tell me everything.
Played at Falcons Blues. I was 6, 7-ish. Played at Darlington Park, which you'll know.
Yeah.
First shot, first red potted. Anyway, and it started there.
Yeah.
Moved on to Kissenberry Blues, probably same age, 8-ish. They just sort of like folded teams and got together.
Yeah.
Darlington Park, playing locally. Met a few people along the way. People you stay in touch with, people you don't. But yeah, man, that's where I started. So yeah, good time, man, good memories.
And Leicester came, was age 8 years old, or was you 9 years old when they came?
Yeah, so I signed for Leicester when I was 8, so it would have been at the end of that year, before I was obviously turning 9.
Yeah.
Moved to Leicester, I had obviously a trial, 6-week trial, got signed in 2 weeks, so obviously that's always good. And then bro, since there, I just never looked back, you know?
Okay, did you understand what was going on, or did you just love playing?
Yeah, not really at the time. I mean, I remember like my dad and me speaking, mum and dad, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
About like moving to Leicester and the opportunity and stuff. Obviously at the time you want to play with your friends and
Indeed.
You don't really think about what could be, you know?
Yeah.
So at the time I think I was saying like, no, I don't want to leave my friends, blah, blah, blah. My dad was saying, look, like this is a good opportunity. I think in the end he just sort of said like, you're being stupid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously it was hard, but you can't really miss that opportunity, you know what I mean?
And what position were you playing at the time? Of course you're young, so you're just everywhere in the pitch, or?
Bro, everywhere and anywhere, I think you just play, obviously everyone grows up wanting to be a striker, no?
Yeah, of course.
So I think probably back then I was probably more at the top of the pitch, like playing as a striker or whatever.
Yeah.
But then again, you play anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
I remember I met you when we were about 14, 15 years old. These times you were still at Dustin.
Yeah.
But you going up and down, you're probably one of the first people I met playing academy football, going up and down the country. And at this point, you ended up Diggs. Talk to me about Diggs. I'm guessing at that point you kind of understood, okay, this could be my life.
Yeah, so basically I had an opportunity to move from Northampton to go to, they called it a host family at them ages.
Yeah.
So I think I was, 14. And they said, they had like a module where it was like you go to school and you train in the afternoon kind of thing.
Yes.
The option was to basically either stay with this host family or travel every day, which would be a bit long, like traveling, like going to school in the morning, traveling in the afternoon, training, doing education, and then traveling back. It's a big thing, you know. We spoke with my dad, said that it'd be a good thing. Obviously, they didn't want me to leave, obviously, because I'm their son, like it's not, you don't want your son to leave kind of thing. But then moved there, obviously at first homesick, obviously wanted to go home all the time, but sort of adapted to it and got used to it. Obviously went to school as well, and the host family parents, I still speak to them, weekly, daily. Good. Was theirs the other day for a barbecue, like we still stay in touch, and they've been obviously a massive part of the journey, you know what I mean?
So how did you come to the decision as to whether you were gonna stay and be traveling up and down, or whether, you know what, I'm actually gonna stay here in Leicester in the whole Diggs situation? It's
about, like I say, making a sacrifice, and then obviously hopefully one day you can say that it pays off. So yeah, I'm glad I did it now, obviously, because it's worked sort of in my favour, so I can't really complain.
A lot of relationship must have grown from that though, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, you meet a lot of people, different people. Obviously, it's going to a new different school, like being, new into a new city. It's different, rather than being in the town where you know everyone sort of knows people's faces. It's so bad. Yeah, it's different, man, very different.
And how did you adapt the most? Not even the most, the easiest, because it obviously wouldn't have been easy.
Nah, it wasn't easy.
Staying away from home.
Yeah.
I know you and your family are really close, especially you and your mum and dad.
Yeah.
So what made it easier for you to just, manage and really settle down your nerves?
To be fair, I think just time, man. Like, I think the first year I struggled. Like, I always used to want to be at home. Like, I'd go home at weekends after games on Saturdays. And then Sunday nights came around, and I used to think to myself, I don't want to go back, Not in the fact that they were like a bad people who I was staying with, because they weren't. They were great.
Yeah,
it was just completely being homesick and missing my mum and dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think as time goes on, the second year that I sort of got used to it, it was like a thing where I wasn't too phased by it anymore. Obviously, I was growing up, meeting new people. Life was getting a little bit more serious, maybe. I think just time, man. Yeah. Time gets you through things, So
now time is going forward. You're now 16. It's scholar time.
Yeah.
Were you still living in Diggs at this time? Were you back home?
Yeah, so my host family parents for 4 years So when I got my scholar, that was a weird time because it was like they were never too sure on if I was going to get a scholar or not, you know, like it was always up in the air. Would he grow? Would he be physically able to do it? I was always really small. You remember me being really small?
I do remember, yeah.
So really, like I say, it was up in the air, but I stayed there in my scholarship. Had a tough time at the start, had a big injury in my back, had a stress fracture in my back, didn't play my whole first year scholar.
Okay.
So going into my second year scholar, I was thinking this is kind of make or break.
Yeah.
But I had a good support system. I had obviously the whole family parents, my mum and dad, obviously they were there for me as well. So yeah, it was a tough time, but a good time as well. You learn a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was good.
So at this point, you got your hands on your scholar. So what are you thinking? You got your scholar now, of course, next to professional contract. Were you back from Leicester at this point? You were still in Northampton?
So yeah, I remember the season got cut short because of COVID. So probably Feb, March time maybe when it first came around. Yeah. Season got cut short, so really only had half a season. Did well in that half a season I did. Obviously didn't want the season really to end then. Yeah. As you obviously. But yeah, so I came back to Northampton for a bit. Received obviously my first pro deal. I moved to a place called Braunston Town in Leicester with my two teammates at the time. Okay. They've both got pros as well. Nice. So 3 of us in the house. Nice. 3 beds. Some good times, some questionable times. But that was different because it's like you're not with parents anymore. You're not being told this, that, the other. You're sort of there for yourself. But it's also good to have people you live with to kind of like not advise you, but like you can help each other out. We knew each other since we were 9 years old, like all 3 of us. So we all knew each other really well. Yeah. That wasn't the hard part. But then obviously it was COVID. It was like you couldn't do certain things. It was, you know what I mean, difficult, especially as young lads. Like you want to go out and, you know what I mean, do stuff, but you just couldn't really. Were you guys still playing football during COVID? So I know everything was behind closed doors, wasn't it? Bro, literally, I think the big leagues were like, obviously they carried on a bit earlier than others. Yeah. We didn't go back until probably end of August, September time. Yeah. So you'd be off March, April, May, June. It was months, 6 months you wouldn't be at football, which obviously made a massive difference. But I think because we did do stuff away from the training ground, like I still did train and stuff, like down the park and whatever, and this, that, the other. But yeah, it was definitely a difficult time because who knows football, like not playing football for 6 months, you just don't hear of it, do you? You know what it is though with COVID? I always used to think when I used to see people playing behind closed doors and whatnot, does that impact the way you see football? Does it impact the way you play games? Maybe not, maybe it does. But in my opinion, from the way I've seen you play, I don't see that being much of an impact. Like you said, of course, you were training behind the scenes and whatnot, so you're always keeping fit. Was there a time where you thought when COVID finishes, things will change? Or did you always think, was always in that mindset of COVID is here, I need to prepare for the worst? I think a bit of both. Like, I think obviously I always thought that, you don't really get it at them ages, do you? You don't really think, like this is what's going on, like you just sort of live in the moment. But I never really took it, I just took it as an illness going around. We're not at football at the moment, when I know when I'm back in and I'll start, you know what I mean? But and I think at them ages, you don't really lose too much fitness in them years because you're still young, really young, and very young. You know what I mean? I had no injuries. I had one injury, but that was fine. I was still fit and well, still doing things actively, daily and stuff. So I wasn't really thinking too far ahead, workplace, whatever. That was a good shot. That was a good shot. But yeah, it was difficult. It was a difficult time. So you hit the 21s. Of course, playing with the 21s, you managed to get yourself on the bench. So you're on the bench before you got your pro contract. What are you thinking? Remember, I signed my first pro deal, but it was only a 2-year first pro deal, which is like end of 18, 19. So it's not really you couldn't be like, oh, that's it. I'm gonna buy a house. I'm gonna buy. You know what I mean? It's not really the same. It's different. It's sort of getting you ready. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So I would have started obviously in the 21s, didn't really hit the ground running at all, was still physically struggling. Obviously playing with much older lads now, you play with lads that are like 22 and you're still 18, so it's a lot different. Some even older than that sometimes, obviously in the 21s, but yeah, it was difficult. I had my struggles, but kept at it, kept down to earth, kept working hard. Managed to start playing towards the end of that first season, and then in the second season of my second year, I got offered a new deal, and that's when I think I made my debut in November or December. Against Newcastle. Against Newcastle, indeed. That was my first little snippet of it. I came 4 minutes, I was absolutely blowing. I have to stop you there because
Bro, against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Premier League.
Yeah, I know. It was a bit weird. Like I couldn't really believe it was happening. You know? How have I missed that shot?
I don't know.
It's because you're talking. Put me off. Remember, I was on the bench a few times. It was COVID times,
Yes.
and then like obviously it was still around. So people were saying like, you know, people were getting ill, people were getting COVID.
Yeah.
So obviously people had to step up from the 21s. On the bench a few times. Didn't really ever think I was going to come on. 90th minute, 5 minutes to go. Brendan Rodgers turns around, he goes, Case, like, and I'm thinking,
Me? You think
he ain't
surely
talking to
not?
me. Obviously my heart dropped straight away.
That's insane, bro.
And yeah, made my Prem debut, I think I was 20, 21.
Yeah.
20, yeah. Yeah, it was unreal, man.
Did you have any clue or any idea that you didn't actually know?
No idea I was going to come on, bro. Like, I didn't think. I thought I would bring someone else on. Like it's 4 minutes. Like I was just sort of trying to keep
the seniors to try to keep the game.
Yeah. And then out of nowhere, he was just like, "Yeah, you coming on?" And I was like, "Jesus Christ!" Obviously, I got round of applause. Got my shirt signed.
Yeah.
Got that debut Premier League ball over there. It was unreal, man. Obviously, loads of messages, family, friends, teammates, ex-teammates, whatever. I think it was on Sky at the time as well, so that helps.
Yes.
But yeah, it was unreal, man. I'll never forget that moment.
I don't want to use the words or the phrase life changed at that point.
Yeah.
But surely there was an incline of things going the right way.
Yeah.
And you start seeing things in a proper positive light. Everything negative must have left your mind at that point.
Yeah, I think I felt obviously on top of the world at that moment in time. But I think I also thought that like I'm not a Premier League player, not because I've played 4 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
I've not made it yet. I've still got a lot of hard work to do, but it just shown that the work I've been doing had been rewarded, and there is rewards at the end of hard work and sacrifice, and you can essentially achieve your dreams, you know, playing in the Premier League, really. So yeah, it was unreal, man.
You've got your pro contract now. Forest Green, Rich Hughes, he approaches you, approaches the club even. What did he say to you for you to think or even believe, you know what, this may be the right time for me to go and get experience men's football at a lower league? Of course, they're in a good position. They're fighting to get to League One from League Two. So what were you thinking?
I was just thinking I'm just ready to go out and try and establish myself in a men's team.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wanted to go out and experience something different. Obviously, loans help with experience, getting yourself ready, prepared in a men's game, in a game where people are fighting for contracts, they're fighting for, you know, their families, things like that. Whereas the 21s, obviously no disrespect to it, because obviously it gave me a lot, but it's not the same, you know what I mean? But yeah, like again, that was tough. That was a completely different kettle of fish in a tougher league in terms of physicality wise. It was eye-opening, to be fair. Obviously the club was in a good spot. It was going to be hard to get in the team, and obviously I did find it hard to get in the team because I didn't really create any, like, stamp any authority. Like people will think, oh yeah, you go down to these clubs and these leagues, it's going to be easy, but it's not easy.
It's not.
You know what I mean? You still got teammates who are competing, you got fans obviously wanting results, managers, you know what I mean? It can be hard in them leagues, but I do think it toughens you up and it gets you ready for the real game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, obviously, of course, you made 9 appearances during that season. You played out of position, is that correct?
A little bit.
You played, was it wing back you played?
A little bit, yeah.
Did you like that? Did you prefer it?
When I got to like 18, 19, I was always thinking, what position am I going to sort of settle down in, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Never really known because I was just used to playing so many different positions. But I feel like it was a very different way of playing that position than I was used to. And there was a few players there who obviously had it nailed on, and they were pretty, like, you know what I mean, solidifying that position. But I think from that experience, I learned a lot. I learned what it takes to win games and what it takes to essentially win the league title. Yeah, it was good, man. It was good for the brain and mentality and stuff.
Yeah. What's the biggest things you took from experience going down the league, of course, League One, League Two, whatnot?
Just the fighting spirit, you know, like just thinking that when I'm on the pitch, it's not, obviously I'm fighting for my teammates, but also you've got to look after yourself, because if you don't look after yourself, then no one's going to look after you, you know what I mean? And I think I went back with a bit of that bite from Wimbledon when I went back to Leicester, where I was like, this is just about me, you know what I mean? Just to hit the ground running. Obviously we was teammates at Leicester, but I also thought to myself, like, this is my time, you know?
Yeah.
I was getting older. This was sort of pretty similar, like make or break. Well, if I'm going to get in the first team now, it's going to be now or never. A good pre-season, obviously with a new manager coming in. So yeah, it was really good time for me. Really felt fit, felt strong, and I think going from into them leagues as well, you learn how to toughen yourself up, like I said before. So I felt like I was ready physically to step up. And yeah, that's what happened, so I was buzzing with that, yeah.
That's fantastic. Listen, of course, every footballer, sometimes you need that step out, don't you? Just to get out from your surroundings, things you're not used to, and get that challenge, really get stuck in. Were there any other players that you knew that took the step down for a loan spell to the Championship or League One or League Two at the same time that you spoke to?
Obviously, I knew players that had gone down there and done it. Kiernan Shrewsbury, for example, went to Luton, went to Blackpool.
Yeah.
Seen that what he's done now.
Yeah.
Sort of similar with obviously both at Leicester, like our whole lives. He's went down there, done really well at Luton, especially, and then gone on to better things. So it does show that you can go down to these leagues and learn a lot. You know what I mean? And then take it forward with you into your later career. So that's what I'd say for any like sort of young player now, whether that's 19, 20, whatever, and you're not playing in a first team, go and play 20 games in League Two, League One, whatever, National League, because you're going to learn the hard way of how it's going to be, and you'll take that forward with you into where you next want to go, you know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, I think them experiences for any young player is good to have.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I absolutely love that answer, Kasey. You really went into detail. Yeah. I really love that answer. Okay, so Kasey, you came back from Wimbledon, more experience under your belt, you're a different player, you're a new player in fact. Of course, Leicester just been relegated as well. New manager, new slate. What did that feel like coming back?
A bit like a fresh start.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was like, obviously the club had been relegated from the Premier League, which meant it was an opportunity to get myself finally in the first team fully, properly. Obviously, it was a new manager as well, with a whole new backroom staff. I think it was just completely new faces everywhere around the building. So it was like a fresh start for me to, you know, sort of reinvent yourself. Obviously started pre-season on the first day, and then the whole pre-season was with the first team. I had a good pre-season, felt really fit, strong. And then obviously going into like the first game of the season I started. So I think that pre-season itself was really what, you know, built up to that moment happening. Obviously being my first league start for the club at home. Yeah, it's a big moment, a big first start to that season. So yeah, it went really well.
Of course, Enzo coming in now, just came in as a manager. I can imagine he has a different mentality to the way he wants his squad to play, how he wants things going. He obviously and clearly had good intentions with you, and he trusted you because he started you that first game. So tell me about how it went about him picking you to start. Did you have conversation beforehand? Did you find out on match day?
Sort of in training we did like 2-11, where you would never know who would win side because it was all mixed around, you know, so it wouldn't have been really obvious that who was starting. I think it was the morning at the training ground he said, and obviously at that point I'm bricking it because obviously it's my first start. It's Cobb at home, so it's a big game. It's a local derby. Back in the Championship, new manager. Fans obviously didn't know what to expect. It was a big game. But yeah, I think it was one of them ones where when I got into the game, it was like you've been playing football your whole life. I wasn't too fazed by it. A few minutes in, it was just like another game of football, really. But yeah, it was really good, man. 27
league starts, over 40 appearances, all competition that season, scoring 8 goals, which played an important role to Leicester came back to the Premier League. Very, very important role. Is that when you started to believe towards the end of that season that this is where you belong here on the big stage?
Yeah, I feel like it was a tough year because I think it was 3 hammy injuries, which just kept happening. I had a good start to the season. I think I scored 4 in 5 or something like that. And then I got hit with a big hammy injury away at Blackburn, which sort of stalled my season. Kept coming back from the injury, kept happening again, came back, happened again. Obviously something wasn't right. Finally got down to the root cause, what we think it would have been. Got it sorted, and then came back towards the end. I was always sort of in and out, but then towards the end of the season, it sort of finally put it to bed. And then Preston game away, we was already promoted, but we needed to win the game to win the league. Yeah. Obviously scored that game. That was an unbelievable night because it's a long season, you know, for everyone, staff included, players, fans, everyone. So to celebrate that at the end, it was good. And then obviously you got to look forward to the Premier League the next year. So
like you said, of course, you're dealing with injuries in and out. Does this show the importance of having a good physio squad, a good people back home helping you and going through the journey with you? Because it seemed like every time you came back, in my opinion, it seemed like you just got better.
Yeah, I think I definitely felt different in myself because you always have things in the back of your mind as if, what if this happens again? What if it don't happen again? And obviously never having that injury before, you don't know how to, you know, go about it and things you need to be doing off the pitch. Yeah. Obviously the medical team were really good with me. Said, you know, it's about how I feel, and if I don't feel right, then just take your time, which is what I did. As you learn, as you get older, you learn more about your own body. You seem to understand more about what you need to be doing off the pitch, what you can't be doing off the pitch, you know, how good sleep and rest is and recovery and all the things that you don't think of when you're growing up, but you do start to think of when you're getting a little bit older,
Yeah. Before we move on to the Premier League, of course, which I think is very important that we do cover that, I want to talk about the EFL game against Liverpool, which for me was probably one of my favourite goals. Celebration to everything. The way you took the ball in, your first touch, everything about it. You had so much confidence running on that pitch with that ball. 3 minutes into the game, you scored that goal. What was going through your mind then? What did you think for the rest of the game? Did you know, even before you received the ball, this is what you were going to do?
Nah, so obviously it was a big game. Obviously you start at Anfield, which is crazy. I remember the hairs on my neck like sort of standing up and they were singing the song, You Never Walk Alone. Like you say, it was, 3 minutes or something, counter-attack. Just saw, I think it was Unisac going to run down the right-hand side. Sort of just made a run through the middle, kept myself on side, and as the ball came to me, it just made sense to go first time. And then as it went in, it just didn't really feel real at the time. But then when you look at it back after a few months after, because I didn't really take it in at the time, when you look back at it, you seem to think, Jesus, you know what I mean? And then just like I say, that as before, the text, the messages, the phone calls, the phone just blew up, you know? Because obviously it's not every day you can say that you've scored at the Copper at Anfield. So.
Did you know you were going to start that game?
Yeah, so I think it was day before. Obviously we'd always travel the night before. So when we got to Liverpool, obviously the gaffer said the team. Obviously then you start to feel a bit nervous. Obviously playing Liverpool. But when you're on the pitch, you don't really think about that. You're just playing football as I would when I was 8 years old. So.
Even at the time when you scored that goal, you were Leicester's top goal scorer actually. So you were flying. That must have put your confidence on a different pedestal, man.
I think, definitely. That was most ever confident I've been. I think because, like you say, scoring goals and playing, you grow confidence in abundance. You know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, it did stall, like I say, when I did my hamstring. That sort of killed my momentum a little bit because I feel like if that wouldn't have happened, there would have been no excuse for me not to go from strength to strength. But I think everything happens for a reason. You get tough love sometimes. It's something you need to learn in the game. It's not always going to be like this. It's up and down, and it's just part of the game, I think.
Yeah, of course. I want to talk and touch again on your injuries. Would you say that quiet time, that downtime you had to yourself to recover was when you learned the most about yourself?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot about my body in terms of things in the gym, stretching, mobility, all these different things you don't really think of when you're a young guy, but you do seem to think of when you're getting problems and stuff and why that's happening, understanding your body, understand when you need rest, understand when you need to push and have a good blast at it. But yeah, that's about maturing as a player, as a person. The same thing is to do with life as well, really. So it's all goes into one thing, something that I take on into it now.
So at this point, you've got your professional contract, scholars, everything. You've got everything out the way. You've gone on loan, you've got that experience, back. You've had the injury situation. At this point now, I would like to say you're a solidified Premier League player now, a solidified professional footballer. Then Ireland come knocking. Ireland come knocking on the door. And this is probably going to be one of my favourite parts of the interview. I cannot wait to hear. How did that come about? Who called you? Did you have a meeting? Tell us all about it.
I think I had an email or a phone call, can't remember what it was. Obviously the Republic of Ireland, Chief and Comms or whatever it would have been. And I also had one with Northern Ireland as well because my granddad was from Belfast. So which obviously is Northern Ireland. Spoke to both, decided in the end about the Republic of Ireland. My first camp was September maybe, 2025.
Yes.
Here we had Greece and England at home.
Yes.
So obviously a huge game. The Greece game, that was the away game. And then the England game, obviously at home, was the first game. And that was unbelievable, like the whole day, the atmosphere. I've never heard a noise like it at the Aviva. It was crazy, even not on the way to the game. The fans, there was thousands just along the side of the road. Green, green everywhere. It was brilliant, So yeah, definitely a moment I'm proud of. Yeah, definitely.